The plan I had to start building cars was pretty much the opposite of what people consider a good business idea. It was unasked for, seemingly impossible and costly. In this field, no one had ever succeeded starting from nothing. Basically, it was a stupid business idea, simply an impossible plan, and that's why I loved it. Developing a car from start to finish is one of the most challenging industrial projects. You have to plan, draw, manufacture thousands of spare parts that will then be assembled and set in motion, in a set of a complexity that the human brain struggles to grasp in all its depth. To reach your goal, you'll need a team of fierce engineers, logisticians, and production specialists. To control the plans, costs, deadlines, quality, assembly, in short, everything. This wild bet involves familiar characters who have made their mark in our passion's history. For those you know, it worked because they agreed to endure the long, painful, but necessary path of the cross. Perhaps to see a creation from their own imagination move into reality. As for all the others you don't know, some of them were likely very talented and motivated, maybe just as deserving as those who succeeded. However, they failed to achieve the ultimate goal of establishing an enduring brand, and history ultimately forgot them. Worse yet, they attempted to develop their own car brand. It's a mission that, unlike many things in the internet age, becomes increasingly complex as the years go by. We have moved from a time when the market accepted rudimentary objects and simple mechanics. Until today, you'll need powerful, reliable constructions that offer the necessary equipment to stay competitive while meeting safety, comfort, and pollution standards. Increasingly drastic? Well, I had to start with that to set the scene. The automotive industry is extremely competitive, and no one gets a free pass. And where those who manage to make their way to the front door find upon arrival that 99% of the participants fall flat on their faces. I said 99% because nature favors anomalies and history is playful. There are still a few rare examples of success that command respect. As you've realized today, I'll share one of these adventures with you, undoubtedly the most spectacular one. The story begins on August 12, 1994, a relatively recent date in automotive history, when a young Swede, only 22 years old, embarks on the adventure of his life and decides to create his own car company. In the small town of Ängelholm, not known for its connection with cars. Young Christian Erland Harold von Koenigsegg, in a hurry, gave his name to the extraordinary brand Koenigsegg, which we'll discuss today. Sweden is globally renowned for its simple furniture, serene landscapes, and automotive industry. It has given us Scania, Volvo, and Saab companies that have qualities, but we are far from that. Christian's dream comes from a 1975 Norwegian animated film that marked his youth, Flatlipa Grand Prix. A movie created by a team of 5 became the most watched film in Norwegian cinema history. The story follows Reodor, an inventive mechanic who learns that his ex-assistant Rudolf stole his racing car engine plans, enabling Rudolf to become a Formula World champion. He then decides to build a gigantic car, Tempo Gigante, to race against Rudolf and win the Le Mans 24 hours. Upon seeing this, young Christian vowed to fulfill his dream, to build the world's best racing cars and outperform the established big brands. Well, to start with, Christian is not just anyone. He is a descendant of the House of Koenigsegg, a dynasty of German nobility. Their coat of arms is incorporated into his company logo. That's classy. As for his father, Jesko, remember his first name, he is the chief executive officer of JK Energy Technique, a company specialized in the energy field. Yet it didn't help him. Christian, with no automotive industry contacts or experience and no predisposition for the field, starts from square one. It's thanks to the total reinvestment of the money he raised from his very first chicken farming business. Thanks to his persuasive skills and the help of business angels, he finances his first Koenigsegg project, the Koenigsegg CC. I have 2 issues. Firstly, I lack the vocabulary to express how insane the CC is. When Christian first introduces it to the world, I don't see how we can do better. Christian made a big impact upon entering the supercar world, achieving his goal from the start. The Proto arrives with a striking design and is powered by a Ford V8 engine. With 650 horsepower, the car can reach a top speed of 242 miles per hour. Yes, 242 miles per hour. Obviously, this kind of machine is not for everyone. In addition to making great cars, the young Koenigsegg has business acumen and knows precisely where to find future customers. He doesn't showcase his creation at the same venues as others, avoiding the Geneva Motor Show and Villa d'Est Elegance competition. The CC will be unveiled in a world exclusive at the Cannes Film Festival on the Croisette. And that's a masterstroke. Christian attracts his first customers and signs purchase orders to finance the production of the CC8S with only 6 units made worldwide. Our Swedish entrepreneur enjoys impressing with striking statistics and shocking figures. Here's the first one. The CC8S has a power-to-weight ratio of 3.68 pounds HP due to its body and chassis made of carbon fiber and Kevlar composite materials. The car is twice as powerful as the Lamborghini Diablo, which was a top performer at the time. With its top speed of 242 miles, h and 0-100 acceleration in 3.5 seconds, it becomes the world's fastest production car at the time. To top it off, this first supercar came almost entirely from Christian's imagination. Although designer David Crawford signs off on the CC8S design, he personally sketched the initial exterior designs. He imagined its interior in a Fifth Element style never seen at the time. He even invented a unique door opening mechanism with an elytra opening that uses synchronous helical dihedral opening, and which will become a super identifiable element of all future Koenigsegg's. So far it's perfect, and I think it's an ideal start to an adventure. Koenigsegg, a new car manufacturer, has created a model with a unique design and incredible performance. He found his first customers and his handmade CC8S sells for over €1 million. But it's when everything is going well that the first big problem arises. In 2003, just before the Geneva Motor Show, Koenigsegg's workshop catches fire. I call it a workshop because it's too small to be considered a factory. The employees save the cars inside at the last minute, but everything else is destroyed by the fire. A severe setback that would have stopped anyone else, but surprisingly, it won't hinder the brand's advancement. It will also provide him with the final crucial element for selling luxury cars, the story he was missing. After the fire, Christian buys a 4,000 square meter warehouse a few kilometers from the one that has just been destroyed, which once housed a unit of the Swedish Air Force. Fighter Jet Squadron 1, a squadron of SAP-39 Gripen fighter planes, left on an early morning mission and returned late at night. The villagers heard them without seeing them, nicknaming them Ghost. The Ghost became the insignia of Fighter Jet Squadron 1. And when Christian buys the building, he decides to pay tribute to them by putting this logo on all production Koenigsegg's. His decision lets him add military prestige to his cars and have a great story to share. Koenigsegg, the young manufacturer, has arrived on the scene, demonstrating to the world that it can compete with established supercar makers. His Koenigsegg CC8S is impressive, but just the start. In 2004, the CCR debuts with only 14 made, an updated CC8S version with a nearly identical but slightly more aerodynamic design. This will improve support and efficiency. Then the CCX and all its variants, CCXR, CCXR Edition, CCXR Trevita, or the radical CCGT, produced in a single copy at the 2010 Geneva Motor Show. Koenigsegg presents the Agera, which in Swedish means to take action, as if it wasn't already done. The model celebrates Koenigsegg's 15th anniversary and is possibly the first car that brought the brand into the public eye. The least we can say is that it was sensational. Stylistically, it works. It features a bold design that incorporates the style of the entire CC series, adding a modern touch. Mechanically, it's even more impressive. The V8 engine produces 1,140 horsepower for the 1,661.389 pounds vehicle. It exceeds 0 to 200 in less than 9 seconds and even goes up to reach the maximum speed of 420 km per hour. This enabled Koenigsegg to expand as a car maker. The vehicle is fully manufactured in-house with no external components. An achievement for such a young and small company. The 121, a megacar built in a very small series, appears between 2014 and 2015. Only 7 copies for 7 privileged buyers, as its price matches its extreme performance. As its name indicates, the 121, it's 1,360 kilos for 1,360 horses, a power-to-weight ratio of 1 horse per kilowatt. In comparison, a LaFerrari has 3.74 pounds per horsepower, a McLaren P 1 ton, TR has 3.17 pounds, and a Bugatti Chiron has 2.86 pounds per horsepower. So, one for one, I'm not going to make it complicated, it's madness. But despite its performance, Christian von Koenigsegg realizes in the mid-2010s that his cars have a problem. Potential wealthy clients are more likely to be entrepreneurs and industry leaders, not necessarily experienced race car drivers. And he produces cars that are road monsters, almost too powerful and complicated to drive. He thus mobilizes his team to develop a new product that better meets customer demands, without denying his love for performance. And it will be the Koenigsegg Regera, released in 2015, that remains a crazy sports car, but which is much more technological and much easier to use than all the models he has produced so far. I warn you, it's a little bit more comfortable, but it's not really a tame car. 1,500 horses available under the pedal. 0 to 100 in less than 3 seconds and a pretty crazy capacity. To climb up to the 400 km per hour mark, then to come to a complete stop in less than 30 seconds. The highlight of this car is once again its opening kinematics, which is one of the specific characteristic features of the Koenigsegg brand. With a special remote control, you can independently or simultaneously open the front hood, rear hood, and door. This provides us with spectacular Transformers-style kinematics when fully deployed. If you ever have about 7 million euros aside, you can still order it today. But for something more outrageous, Koenigsegg presented in 2019 essay, Jesko, Christian's father's first name, is used to pay tribute to him. It's the fastest Koenigsegg ever built at the time, and the first to receive global approval. This case involves a high-performance car with a truly innovative design for the brand. Aside from the headlights, which are slightly reminiscent of the Quant concept from 10 years prior, which we'll discuss later in the video. The Jesko boasts ultra-advanced aerodynamics, featuring a boomerang-shaped front wing that generates immense downforce. The rear features a horizontal shock absorber system that keeps the car rigid during intense accelerations, channeling the 1,600 horsepower. Of course, we don't forget about comfort. The seats are made of carbon fiber, but they are still electrically adjustable, which is normally forbidden in a race car. As a bonus, you can directly connect the phone with Apple CarPlay. We are dealing with high-end equipment in a car originally designed to break records. Despite this, it's not a family car, but it can take passengers. Once again, Christian von Koenigsegg and his team have envisioned the perfect daily, the Gemera. With this new monster, Koenigsegg has definitively proven they are at the level of the greatest. And to succeed in this challenge, he needed a revolutionary engine. So it combines a 3-cylinder, 2-liter engine with 3 electric motors which give it an impressive combined power. You can choose between a 1,700 horsepower engine or an optional twin-turbo V8 with 2,300 horsepower. With this hybrid configuration, the Gemera rips 0 to 100 in 1 second 9. All this while carrying 4 adult passengers in comfort with hand-stitched leather seats. Its Wi-Fi connection, its 11-speaker audio system, and even its 4 heated and cooling cup holders. A never-before-seen feat in the hypercar world, Gemera, Swedish for give more, lives up to its name. With its exclusive package, impressive performance, and comfortable 4-seater interior, it redefines what a hypercar can offer. And it changes the game in the highly coveted world of sports cars. When creating his company, Christian Koenigsegg insisted his cars have unique features, or else producing them would be pointless. And to say the least, he has remained faithful to this idea. Sure, he has broken quite a few records. The world's most powerful engine in 2004, the first to go from 0 to 208 seconds, a speed record of 457 km/h with the Agera RS in the Nevada desert. In 2017, then 482 km/h with the Jesko Absolute. His current goal is to make a significant impact on the world of major series. With the inventions he has developed for his own cars, we didn't discuss it as it wasn't a Koenigsegg model but in 2009. The brand was associated with the Quant concept carried out with the NLV Solar Group. The brand was associated with the Quant concept carried out with the NLV Solar Group, a company specialized in solar energy. An electric concept car whose innovation was in the paint covered with photovoltaic cells. The Gemera concept already included the initial elements of a sports car with 4 genuine seats. Koenigsegg ultimately abandoned the project, but it paved the way for more successful innovations in 2016. The brand presents the free-valve engine, which, unlike a classic mechanical engine, uses an electronic control system to activate or deactivate each emission and exhaust valve as needed, so you can use a single cylinder to drive in town and 100% of the engine to send a full throttle acceleration. This system boosts power and torque by 50% while keeping emissions and consumption under 15%. With its quark electric motor with a power of 340 horsepower for 30 kilograms which powers the Gemera, Christian revisited the basics of magnetism and cooling to develop a potentially game-changing solution for electric cars. He also invented the direct drive transmission, eliminating complex gear sets. And it solves the problem of power loss while being much lighter than a traditional transmission. He proved it on his models. Koenigsegg knows how to invent revolutionary systems. To reach the mass market and achieve his new goal, he aims to incorporate them into mainstream vehicles. He tried to buy Saab in 2009 when the brand was still alive and General Motors wanted to get rid of it. But the Swedish government, which was in charge of the case, preferred to choose a Chinese buyer. In 2016, he unsuccessfully negotiated with Chinese manufacturer Coros for his free-valve system. In 2022, he partnered with Lightyear, a now defunct Dutch electric car startup. In just 20 years, Christian von Koenigsegg has redefined the supercar by continuously pushing boundaries with his unprecedented vision. Despite not being predestined for success in the industry, he arrived like an unidentified flying object and managed to establish his brand despite a small sales volume. His story is about fulfilling his dream, which is part of the beautiful human adventures that fuel passion for cars. Personally, I bet we can count on him to show perseverance. Thank you for watching this video. Share your thoughts on the Koenigsegg adventure in the comments. I'm eager to hear your opinion. Remember to subscribe, it's crucial. See you next time.